Hi everyone, welcome back to Learning with Alia. Today's topic is about choosing government leaders by voting and elections. In the United States, we choose many of our government leaders by voting. People vote to choose their leaders in an event called an election. Citizens vote for leaders in local, state, and federal levels of government. This includes mayor, governors, and the president. Citizens also make important decisions about laws by voting. Voting is a good way to choose government leaders and make decisions because it is fair. Everyone gets to help make big choices during an election. This is a picture of voting booths are made private so that no one can see how you are voting. Question: when people vote for government leaders, it is called A Congress, B an election, C a constitution, or D a decision. The answer is B an election. Elections are events where people vote for government leaders. Which of the following government leaders do citizens vote for in the United States? A. Members of Congress, B. The President, C. Mayors, or D. Governors? The answer is all of the above because the voters choose leaders at all levels of government, whether it's local, state, or federal levels. Next question: why is voting a fair way to choose government leaders? A. Because it's an easy way to make decision. B. It is a fast way to make a decision. C. It is difficult for people to decide who to vote for. Or D. It lets everyone voice their opinion. The answer is D. Voting is a good way to make decisions because it is fair and lets each person voice their opinion. Citizens who are 18 or older can vote in elections. Every day, the government makes many decisions about our country. Because of this, Americans do not get to vote on every decision. Instead, we choose leaders who will represent us and make choices for the community. When we elect a government leader, we choose someone who will make decisions for the whole community. True or false question: U.S. citizens vote on all governmental decisions. It's false. In the United States, citizens vote for government leaders who make many important decisions for the community. Citizens vote on some decisions as well, but not all of them. Some government leaders are appointed. This means that they are not chosen by voters during an election. Instead, someone in the government chooses them to do particular jobs. For example, the president appoints Supreme Court justices. Unlike the president, they are not elected. Each of the 9 Supreme Court justices was chosen by a president. True or false? All government leaders are chosen in elections. False. Some government leaders are appointed. For example, the Supreme Court justices. Which of the following jobs are government leaders expected to do? A. Choose people for other government roles. B. Write textbooks. C. Build shopping malls. Or D. Make decisions for the whole community. The answer is A and D. Government leaders make decisions for their community, and some government leaders also choose people to do government jobs. When you turn 18, you will be allowed to vote in elections by turning in a ballot. A ballot is an official form that lists all of the decisions that people get to vote on. It is important for voters to think carefully and learn about the people they vote for because these people will be making important decisions for their community. This citizen is casting her vote. During elections, citizens vote by filling out a ballot. Question: you must be at least blank years old to vote in government elections. A. 12, B. 21, C. 18, D. 25. The answer is 18. You must be at least 18 years old to vote in government elections. Why is it important to learn about the people who you vote for? A. They will become your friends. B. They will decide who becomes the president. C. They will make a lot of money. Or D. They will make big decisions that affect you. And the answer is D. When you vote for government leaders, you are choosing people who will make important decisions for the community. Because of this, it is important to learn about these people so you can decide who will make the best choices for you. Michael just turned 18. He wants to make a list of important questions to ask himself before voting. Which questions will help him make good decisions? Is it A, who is the oldest? B, who will make good choices? Or C, who is the most popular? Or D, who has the right skills? Asking who has the right skills and who will make good choices are smart questions to ask when deciding who to vote for. Just because someone is older or more popular does not mean that they will make better decisions. It is our duty to vote. This means that it is our responsibility. Voting is your chance to have a say in how our government works. If you do not vote, you may not be happy with the leaders who are elected. In many areas, people vote using special computers. This volunteer is helping a citizen to get ready to vote. We have the responsibility to vote. This means that it is our duty to participate when there is an election. We have a duty to vote for the people who will make good decisions for the community. Why is it important to vote? Is it A, voting is your chance to write a new constitution? B, voting is your chance to have a say in how the government works? C, voting is your chance to become president? Or D, voting is your chance to suggest new laws? When you vote, you choose leaders who will make important decisions for the community. This is your opportunity to have a say in how the government will work. Let's recap on what we have learned so far. Number one, people vote in elections to choose government leaders. Number two, we vote for leaders at all levels of government, local, state, and federal. Number three, government leaders make big decisions for their communities. They may also appoint people to do government jobs. Number four, it is our duty to vote and to think carefully about the people we vote for. Question: what is an election? A, when members of the Supreme Court are picked. B, when people make a change to the Constitution. C, what happens when someone breaks a law. Or D, when people vote to choose government leaders. Next question, what is a ballot? Is it A, an official form that lists all of the decisions that people get to vote on? B, a process people use to make an official choice? C, a person who can be elected? Or D, a government official who is chosen by other government official? Before we end today's lesson, let's look back at what we have learned. Most government leaders are chosen by citizens in elections. People choose leaders at the local, state, and federal levels of government. Government leaders are responsible for making the choices their communities want them to. Sometimes they will also need to choose people to do certain jobs. Citizens have a duty to vote by casting a ballot in elections. That's all for today's lesson.